a major issue now is after that election, how you're going to build your party. Someone like Bimbo Daramala, Honorable Bimbo Daramala, who was on the program a few days ago, who was a former Director General, probably sounded bitter on the program from some of his reactions. The fear of some of the party members is how you're going to reunite your party, how you're going to bring them together ahead of the July election.
There is no question about that. The party is focused on an objective. That objective is retaking the government of Ekiti State. Bimbo Daramola is not just my political associate. He is more of a younger brother to me. Bimbo was my junior in high school. I've known him for the better part of the last 3.5, 4 decades. And whatever differences that might have occurred, I can assure you that we will get over that.
How much did you give your delegates?
I didn't give anybody anything.
Really?
No.
But there were stories about how much we heard, and we heard, Dr. Fayemi, we heard stories that you gave monies. You gave money to delegates.
You would have stories. I do not have to give money to delegates. These delegates came to office when I became governor. I put them in this position as the leader of the party.
So you compelled them to bring you back to get a ticket?
No. I was able to convince them with what I have consistently done. I didn't abandon them. I didn't abandon the party. Consistently from the time I stopped being governor, I meet with these delegates as the executive members of the party at the ward level every quarter. So I am not a stranger to them. They can tell you what I did when I was in office. They can also tell me what I have been doing for the party at the state level and at the ward level. So I'm not an accidental politician in that sense. I did not just happen on them. They know Fayemi like the back of their hand.
So you didn't spend any time for this primary?
I associate who spent resources, but I did not give delegates money.
Did you hear that your colleagues in the race gave money?
Well, you hear all sorts of things. I don't pick my stories.
Because we understand.
I don't pick my stories from the streets.
No. We don't. Yeah, I mean, for the respect that you have for this organization, we get our facts and we get our stories. Okay. As a political journalist, you hear a lot of stories. You talk to people. You meet with people.
One of the stories that I'm sure you had was that I gave 1 million.
You gave the most money. That's what they say.
Well, I don't believe that's correct.
Even your co-contendants did say that you gave the most, you gave the highest.
Sean, get me right. Hi, Fayemi. I do not have to give money to let people know the good that will come out of a government that I would run. I recruited the highest number of political officials when I was in office. Many of the people who are officials at the state level and officials at the local government level and the ward level served either as councillors in my government or as chairman of local government or as special assistants in one department or the other or as commissioners. So I really have a head start. I had an advantage and there's no gainsaying that fact. That clearly propelled me into victory.
Before I leave the issue of the primary, so that we focus on your agenda, and is the issue of the fact that in this primary, as it stands right now, what happened on that day, the kicking of the box and a lot of issues and or whatnot. What's your take on that and the electoral process in Nigeria?
Well, it's unfortunate because I believe that Governor Amakura and his team did everything to have a very smooth, transparent process. But there were people who were determined to disrupt that process. And I got intelligence much earlier, which I passed to security agencies, that because of the belief that one particular aspirant had an advantage, they were going to come there and disrupt it. And I really appeal to the security agencies to put every effort in place to ensure that that did not happen. But I think the rain that fell created the opportunity for the thugs to enter the stadium and to do what you saw, which was a show of shame.
But because those were delegates, they had delegate tags.
No, they had fake tags.
Okay, so
they had
quickly,
fake tags, and those are lessons. And you can see that that lesson was learned yesterday. You were not allowed into that event center if you had no business there. And once you voted, you were escorted out of the place. So only those who had business there remain. And that's why we had such a clean process yesterday that produced the result that we got.
Dr. Fayemi, you had your way. You wanted indirect primary and you got it.
No, I really couldn't care less about whether it was indirect primary or direct primary. My issue was that you cannot change the rules in the middle of a game. You have started a process. You cannot now, on your whim and caprice, decide that you are going to change that process in the middle of the game. And for me, that was the issue. I mean, direct primary is provided for in our constitution. I'm a product of direct primary. When I won the primary in 2006, it was direct primary. But I knew that if we could not manage a process within one single venue, imagine what would have happened if we held the primaries in 177 wards. We would have ended up with bloodshed. We would have ended up with probably results of only 10 wards out of 177. But look at what we got yesterday. It was very clean. It was very open. It was very transparent. Nobody could challenge the efforts of the Amakura committee yesterday.
Let's spend the next few minutes or so before the end of this interview on your agenda and the reasons why you're here, you're getting back in the race. Well, your governor, Ayodele Fayose, said this. He tweeted, and I'm going to read it to you. He said, "I thank the APC for giving Ekiti people a candidate they love to vote against at all times. Fayemi should not celebrate this Pyrrhic victory yet, because it is nothing but a flame that will be quenched on July 14. He should expect to suffer worse defeat compared to that of 2014.
Well, Ayo Fayose is not somebody I spend a great deal of my time on, frankly, because Ayo Fayose I always describe as an alawada, an entertainer. We shall cross that bridge when we get there. We will know whether Ayo Fayose or his continuity agenda would be acceptable to Ekiti people or not.
You think you can beat him? Because
Ayo Fayose is not on the ballot, so I don't want to really dwell on Ayo Fayose. The PDP, to the best of my knowledge, has a candidate. Other party has a candidate, have their candidates. We would go into the race. For me, it's going to be a race driven by issues, by the challenges that Ekiti has faced in the last 4 years and how to deal with it.
What would that be the issue for you, your agenda?
My agenda has always been clear in Ekiti. It's about making poverty history. It's about ensuring human development in Ekiti. And all of the people that I help via my social security benefit, the first in the country, the paid benefit to elderly people, my free education, my free health program, my industrial development, my tourism agenda, these are things that I have done. It's not things that I'm promising to do. And you can go around this state. Every single community in this state has at least 4 or 5 projects that they benefited from Fayemi when I was governor. If I didn't give you a town hall, I will give you a palace. If I didn't give you a palace, I will build a road. If I didn't build a road, your health center is fixed by me. The record is there.
Dr. Fayemi,
that's what I'm running on.
I wish we had more time to speak about it, but we'll still get you back to talk about your
I'll
programs.
be happy to be here anytime you want.
Dr. Fayemi, I wish you the best in the race. Thank you so much for your time on the program.
Sean, it's always wonderful to be here, and I look forward to meeting you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.